Folks, I want to welcome you to Lincoln Home National Historic Site. My name is Bill Chappelle, one of the rangers here, and you currently are in the formal parlor room here at Lincoln Home National Historic Site. But this is where the Lincolns would entertain their guests. It's really strictly for their guests. They would socialize with them, entertain them in these very rooms right here. Now, if you were a female status, you were typically entertained in the room that I'm standing in. If you were male status, however, Mr. Lincoln did like to use the back half of the parlor room as his study, as his library, so the men were typically entertained in the back half of the parlor room. Lincolns could separate their guests just based upon their gender and close the doors. Would you close your doors and separate your guests based upon their gender today? Probably not. So what's the rationale as to why the Lincolns would separate their guests based upon their gender? Well, it has to do with the socio-economic times, what the people believed in. See, this is 60 years before women have any rights in this country. They don't have the right to vote. So it's frowned upon for women to engage in topics such as politics and business. Typically when the men got together, that's what they were talking about. Now, Mr. Lincoln did entertain some very important clientele here in this very house, in this very room right here. Mr. Lincoln will receive the Republican nomination in this very room. Politics were a little different in those days. You didn't typically go out there and self-promote yourself. So Mr. Lincoln, he doesn't even go to the convention. So after the convention is over, and they have determined that Mr. Lincoln is their candidate for the presidency, well, now they have to let him know. So they send a team of men here to personally notify Mr. Lincoln, and they will do so in this very room. So what do you suppose was Mr. Lincoln's reaction to all this? What would your reaction be if someone came to your house and offered you an opportunity to run for President of the United States? So Mr. Lincoln, he doesn't accept it right away. He's honored. He's humbled. But he is going to ask for a little time to think about it. Mr. Lincoln will take 4 days to deliberate over this very decision as to whether he should accept this and run for President of the United States. From here, folks, we're going to make our way into the dining room. We'll see what the Lincolns would have partaked of their daily meals. We'll join up there again.